What's going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadski, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video, and today we're having a look at the Pirate King Adventures game mode, level 80 to level 99, against Kobe, of course. So there's going to be two different teams in this video. The first one is going to be utilizing, none of the batch characters aside from the friend captain, so we're going to use Blackbeard as the friend. Blackbeard is definitely the character that they want you to have in this content. Lots of defensive effects, and Blackbeard's superclass ability is very useful on multiple different stages in this content. So yeah, Blackbeard as the friend captain makes a lot of sense. We're going to be using Doflamingo superclass as the captain. He's still like a relatively good unit, all things considered, despite his age. Being able to basically completely get around special bind, you get rid of 10 turns of it with his captain ability. Very powerful mechanic, and the fact that you can have other specials give you attack and orb boosts, and then utilizing Dofi special to get base attack boost and a really good chain boost, it just works really well. Also, Ambush Linlin, fantastic because she is a driven focus character. She removes bind and despair by a bunch of turns. She also gives us attack boost, does a bit of orb change, although the team doesn't really have ways to make recovery slots beneficial. If there was ways to do that, then that would obviously be really good. So we're using this Jesus Burgess, who's free to play, currently accessible in the Pirate King Adventures exchange shop. He was recently added. His special's really nice, gets around the block slots, gives us an attack boost, works really well here. Although you could probably just get through that stage with normal attacks. It's really not too tricky. The Helm Emperor doesn't have that much health. Boa Hancock giving a lot of different debuffs here, special bind, and despair, but you see that the despair happens after the bind and special bind, so Doflamingo will still remove the special bind, Linlin removing the rest of the debuffs for the crew here, and then Zora removes the defense and also gives us a defense down conditional boost, so he works really well for the squad, and he's not a free spirit Zora either. He is actually a driven focused Zora. So even though we are using a lot of characters that are not boosted in Pirate King Adventures during this season, these characters work really well together, somewhat accessible as well. Hopefully, you guys have the available characters in order to do that. Now, we can go ahead and move on to the final stage. We are inflicted with 6 turns of attack down. We remove 4 turns of it with the Avalo Pizarro character, and he also gives a bit of a buff too, but Zora with the support of Tashigi does remove 2 turns of that attack down as well. So having just ways to remove that attack down is kind of key for this team to kind of break through. And then Blackbeard carries pretty heavily here on this final stage, giving a bunch of buffs. Moving on to my own personal team that I'm using currently for level 80 plus. So by using double Blackbeard and Jesus Burgess, we did luckily get at least one of the rare recruits in Vasco Shot. We have a lot of dupe drops, so I don't feel that bad about having one character on the crew that isn't boosted. And what I'll be doing right now is I'll just be farming level 80 until I get all of my turtle missions completed, and then I'm going to make that jump to level 100 plus. So for the next day or so, couple of days, I will probably just be grinding this level of PKA, and then once we are able to reach level 100 and above, I'll bring you guys another video talking about that. You do see we have the waifu character attached to Hody Jones, literally only there for cooldown reduction, and we kind of overstalled anyway, but it's basically to make the team a little bit more faster. So on this stage here, we have the Kaido special, which will give us a full board of matching slots and an attack boost, and ideally try and conserve some of these slots for stage 4 because there's no real specials that we'll be using to do any orb change on stage 4. We did opt to have Legend Buggy attached to Vasco's Shot just to give an attack boost because I didn't really have much damage on this stage. So it's a bit of a weird kind of situation that we have going on with this squad, but it ends up working out pretty well. And I guess some people may be asking, why are we using this Hody Jones? He's just a really nice character that is powerhouse or driven that removes 5 turns of special bind, and Despair, so he just gets around all of those major debuffs on this stage. And because we're using double Blackbeard, we have one superclass special to get around the debuffs here. Realistically, we could have just used the Blackbeard special as well. We don't need two Blackbeard specials for the final stage, so the buggy support that we activated on Vasco's shot isn't really required at all. We should probably just go ahead and just use a Blackbeard special here. It's not really a big issue. And then of course we reach the final stage and we just activate the Blackbeard superclass, the Blackbeard special, and the Jesus Burgess. I think it's actually better to use Jesus Burgess special first and then use the Blackbeard special to have the buff that you get when you have a full board of strength slots. It works out better for you. You get more damage out of it that way. So that's something that you should take into consideration. But that's going to wrap it up for me. Thank you so much for watching. As I said, there'll be another video when we get to PKA level 100. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure to go ahead, leave a like. And if you want to stay up to date with all the content I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. Other than that, guys, I'll see you guys within the next video.